In the last 48 hours, Sir Keir Starmer's government has taken a wrecking ball to the British Constitution, severing one of the last living links between the House of Lords and the ancient Anglo-Saxon Witan, by expelling the hereditary peers, while also advancing the wider assault on trial by jury, that oldest English liberty whose roots stretch back to the Magna Carta itself. And no doubt Starmer, with the smug self-satisfaction of a man forever confusing destruction with progress, think this has been a triumphant couple of days' work. Having indulged in this latest burst of constitutional vandalism, Sir Keir then turned up for the one institution he probably also dreams of abolishing, but cannot yet manage: Prime Minister's questions. Kemi Badenoch attempted to press him on field duty, but Starmer, sensing an opportunity for one of his usual lawyerly evasions, preferred instead to grandstand about Iran and to insinuate that Conservatives somehow shifted their position. The point apparently was that everyone else was reckless and he, the all-seeing oracle of foreign affairs, was right. There he stood, puffed up with sanctimony, delivering one of his trademark sermons in that lawyerly drone, utterly convinced that the moral posturing is a substitute for leadership. This was, of course, both a transparent distraction and part of Starmer's now routine strategy. Avoid answering the question, smear the opposition, and try to delegitimise Badenoch as a potential Prime Minister before she can land a blow. He pompously lectured her about the important decisions a Prime Minister has to make, and through he was some latter-day Churchill rather than the managerial face of Britain's ongoing decline. One suspects Starmer's imagines posterity will remember him as a great reformer. The more likely verdict is that he will go down as yet another hollow technocrat who chipped away at the institutions he was supposed to preserve. He then tried to score a party political point by accusing Badenoch of weakness for changing course too often. Coming from Starmer, this is laughable. It is rather like being accused of moral inconsistency by a man who's made the U-turn into an art form. Under him, reversals are not aberrations but a governing philosophy. To call Starmer shameless in moments like this almost understates it. Buoyed by what he clearly took to be a rare success at the dispatch box, he launched into a string of hypotheticals about the disasters that would supposedly unfold under a Badenoch premiership. It was so blatantly invasive, so obviously detached from the purpose of PMQs, that even Sir Lindsay Hoyle, hardly a martinet, finally lost patience. "This is Prime Minister's questions, not opposition's questions," he told Starmer, cutting short the performance. Badenoch returned to the issue of petrol, and at long last something resembling an answer emerged. "There's not going to be a rise in fuel duty," declared the Prime Minister. Coming from Starmer, that sounds less like reassurance than a warning to brace for the inevitable reversal. And even that answer was fleeting, because he soon lurched off again into another unrelated riff, this time about the RAF. By the end of Badenoch's slot, the exchange had become almost surreal. Two politicians occupying the same chamber, but engaged in entirely different conversations. The rest of the session was no better. A Labour backbencher offering some jokey fluff about his mother. The Liberal Democrats continuing their long-running role as a stage-managed pseudo-opposition. And Stephen Flynn glaring at Starmer with the unconcealed contempt that has become one of the few authentic features of the weekly ritual. Perhaps it is just as well that the ancient constitutional thread linking Parliament to the Witan has now been cut, because one can scarcely imagine what the ghost of England's forebears would make of the unserious, decantant spectacle Westminster has become. Still, no doubt we will be expected to tune in again next week to watch the Prime Minister dodge the questions, strike heroic poses and call it accountability. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments below.